This week on Wildcat News, we discuss domestic violence.
We discover how much our food pantry has grown.
And we visit Smith's Nursery with the life skills class.
All these stories and more coming up because Wildcat News starts now.
Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Mason Butcher.
And I'm Emma Pollard. According to the Childhood Domestic Violence Association, children from homes with violence are highly likely to experience significant short-term and long-term psychological problems. Last month was Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Counselor Sheila Sheets describes the effects domestic violence can have on a student.
We may see behavior changes, such as a student that's not necessarily demonstrates angry behavior suddenly becomes angry or hostile. Withdrawal, social withdrawal, a lot of times may withdraw from friends or activities that they're usually involved in.
Senior Kylie Van Ryan understands that it can be difficult for victims to stand up about their situation.
It's something that can be, is not forgettable. It's not something that's easy to forget, so it's definitely something that'll be carried throughout their life.
Sheets gives advice to students who know someone who may be a victim of domestic violence.
The first thing is to listen and to be there for them and let them know that you're there for them. And then to reassure them that it's not their fault and that they shouldn't be treated that way, and encourage them to talk to a trusted adult.
Van Ryan believes raising awareness is important for preventing domestic violence.
Just kind of shedding the light on the subject so that people are more aware, and that to just show what can happen through that, and hopefully that will prevent a lot of domestic violence cases.
Sheets believes it is important for victims to seek help.
I think the most important thing is for them to know it's not their fault and they don't deserve to be treated that way, and it's not normal, and just to tell somebody that they trust.
On Monday, October 27th, students received information about colleges. The annual college fair allows juniors and seniors to explore college options in North Carolina. At the event, junior Tanya de Blasio learned about colleges that were new to her.
The college fair is really important because you learn a lot about colleges that you may not have known of, and it's about your future, which is important. And I've learned about a lot of colleges I never knew existed.
Counselor Dwynell Crease believes the event benefits students.
This college fair is a good opportunity for students to see a wide variety of different schools without having to travel to those schools, and to obtain information from those schools, talk directly to the representatives, and to determine if it's a school that they might be interested in visiting.
Crease believes the event is very convenient.
That information is right here. They don't have to go visiting looking for that information, and I'm thinking that it would be beneficial for both juniors and seniors.
Junior Stanley Richmond and Crease agreed that students should use this resource to help plan for their future.
You should plan as early as you can, because the better you know what your plan's going to be, the more successful it's most likely going to be.
My hope is that at some point we'd be able to invite freshmen and sophomore, because it is never too early to begin planning for college.
I'm Emma Pollard, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Emma. In February of 2015, the West Johnston Food Pantry began operating from a classroom closet. Since then, the pantry has grown exponentially. Hannah Creech reports.
Located behind the school, the West Johnston Food Pantry first opened to the community in March of 2015. Senior Brody Hall is co-president of the pantry and believes it's all about giving to those in need.
It provides members of the community with food that couldn't get food on their own. So we have a lot of people that are elderly and a lot of people that are disabled. They can't go out and work and get the food that they need. And so this isn't all their weekly food, but this helps improve their quality of food and their amount of food so that they don't go hungry.
Hall and junior Courtney Holland have been part of the food pantry family since its start.
The first trailer that we had for Food Pantry was a tiny, tiny little single-wide trailer, and I can remember we would all be cramped around, shuffling around each other just to try not to knock the food out of each other's hands. But now there's a lot more space for maneuvering, and it makes it a lot easier when you have more space, and you can provide a lot more food for a lot more families that way.
We could only take in about 2 people, and we only had about 4 volunteers a week. It was really cramped.
Hall thinks that the growth of the food pantry has helped them provide more for the community.
In the past year, we've moved into 2 double-wide trailers, and so it's even more food that we're allowed to provide. Now we have every item you can think of, sides, vegetables, fruits, pastries, bread and meat, everything.
Holland believes that the pantry doesn't only touch the people it serves, but the volunteers as well.
It definitely shows me not to judge other people by their cover, and it just makes my perception on life and other people different.
Hall believes that the next step for growth relies on the student body.
What keeps a food pantry going is the food. Really, if students at the school could just provide more food and we can do more food drives, and if we can get all the students involved, I think we can make an even larger impact in the community.
I'm Hannah Creech, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Hannah. Now to Grayson Betts with the game of the week.
Last Wednesday, JV football played at home against the Clayton Comets. Luke Lassiter passes to Anthony Fonseca for a gain of yards. Luke Lassiter makes a short pass to Devin Rouse, who finds a hole through the Comet defense. Patrick Wharf tackles the kick returner. Luke Lassiter runs the ball to get a first down. The Wildcats lost to the Comets 51-0.
Thanks, Grayson. There's a new smiling face in the SRO office. Landry Connors reports.
A school resource officer is a law enforcement representative that is responsible for providing security and crime prevention services in the American school environment. Adrian Stone has recently become an SRO after previous years in several different career fields.
When I graduated from college, I graduated with a bachelor's in communications, so I worked in television. I was a broadcast technician for PBS and also for WRL TV. After having my third child, I decided to move to Hawaii with my husband at the time, and I was a stay-at-home mom for years. I was a teacher. You know, I did a lot, but when I came back to the States, I knew that me and my kids, I needed a career that fit my personality.
When Stone decided to get into law enforcement, she came through the Highway Patrol.
I was the only female cadet in a school of 40-something men. I graduated about the top of my class. And when I graduated and I got on the roads, I realized there was something so much more inside of me. You know, that serving part, I just couldn't see myself for 30 years pulling cars over and giving people tickets.
After leaving the Highway Patrol, Stone was sought out for the position as a school resource officer. She feels that her main job now is to act as a resource to the kids.
If they need to just come in my office, they do, and talk. If they need to come in here and, you know, depressed from everything, they need to come in here and cry. They need to come here and laugh. They need to come in here and get a piece of candy. That's what I'm here for. I'm building relationships with the kids, with their parents, with the teachers, and my administration. We're a team.
I'm Landry Connors, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Landry. The Life Skills class had an opportunity to experience fall festivities outside of the classroom this week. The Life Skills class and the peer tutors went on a field trip last Friday to Smith's Nursery. Seniors Emma Kane and Jakem Graham believe this trip had a great impact on the students.
I think it gives them a great opportunity to come outside of the classroom and enjoy themselves with the other kids and all the peer tutors, and see what some people do, like work-wise, outside of school.
I think it influences them by just like getting out of their comfort zone, because normally we're in school all the time, and then they're on a farm, they get to see animals, they get to see nature, and it's just a beautiful place.
Graham thinks being a peer tutor influences you as a person.
Well, you learn a lot, and it impacts you as a person, changes you as a person. Because being pro, when I signed up for it, I didn't know what to expect, but afterwards now, I'm actually really blessed that I did become a peer tutor. It's just fun, especially being around Miss Colvin in the class, and you interacting with them, you learn a whole lot about yourself. So.
Kane got more out of this trip than she first expected.
It's a new perspective, because I've never really had a relationship with anyone in a life skills class, and it's really cool to see how they're not so different than you or from you.
Well, that's all for us this week. If you have any comments, questions, or story leads, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com or send us a tweet at wjstudentmedia.
And if you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on past episodes, go to wjstudentmedia.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Emma Pollard.
And I'm Mason Butcher. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.